Vancouver Performance History revolves around is the tribe. And my first introduction to Vancouver people, I had been living in New York and Montreal, and I had just arrived in Toronto. It was, all these cities were much, much smaller at that point. They're very small tribes of artists all working together. New York, like Montreal and Vancouver and here. So if you, I was at Judson Memorial Church. Yes, I was. Yvonne Rainier doesn't think of me as her buddy. I mean, she doesn't come down and say, "Gotta call Margaret." She doesn't know me from Adam. But I certainly was around her and knew her and her work and the values that she and the Judson Memorial people were presenting in terms of dance work, which I was involved in the early days as my first discipline, were invigorating and changing. And so it was a tribal thing for me to go to Montreal and Toronto and meet other artists who would say, "Oh, well, while you go to Vancouver, you gotta look up Flaky. He does this thing with the shark thing, with like these headpieces, and yeah, he's hung around Yvonne. You know Yvonne? Yeah, I know Yvonne. Yeah." So it was all very commingling in a way that was a zeitgeist of that time. That was one of the pleasures of that era, as people traveled and it was tribal, and it was very, very easy to be with your peers quickly. There weren't 40 artist run centers, there were 3. And you knew everybody in them. And you ate with them and you slept with them and you collaborated with them because they were your tribe. And it's different now. And it's also wonderful now because you have more people to sleep with. No, it's...
Did people get that up?
Because, of course, now there are lots of people who go to art school, and, I'm sure half the people in this room have been to art school, and they have a different idea, and they bring something else and a wider community, and then, the art form reflects those interests of people with wider needs and interests, and it's healthier, it's not, the same demographic and all of those things. But back to the tribal idea, there was a shared aesthetic and a shared consciousness and a shared politic around the world. The Western Front was extremely international, that's true. I was not a curatorial presence or an organizer here the way everybody in this table is, so I really shouldn't even be here. But I did that only in Toronto. And so I was always just, an artist coming to be and make art and be with, the Pumps people and the Western Pump people and the Video In people and see and participate. So I'm coming from a label that I have a very selfish perspective. I have lots of images that I can remember and tell you about. I mean, for example, tap dancing, practicing inside the Western Front, and that's how I met Michael Morris. He came out wearing a pair of overalls, and I think I woke him up, it was probably 8 in the morning, and he said, anybody who can tap dance at 8 in the morning can have one of my silkscreen prints. So I met him, and I met Vincent Trozov, and then years later, I went and visited them in Germany because now they were part of my tribe. And I have strong memories of Judy Radul and really like the leather jacket, doing the kind of, the beat poet, not beat poet, those who were too young for that, the kind of slam, not slam, in between beat and slam, that was between beat and slam. Anyways, like really, loud, living words performance, and 1,000 images of Blakey, and all the persona. When people did such a very different work, and it was a much less critical time, because there was no academy. vaguely interested in this work. So you had to get over, it was a small community, you had to get over this crap of, kind of shitting on each other. So, I mean, at first, when I met Western Front people and all that persona stuff, I mean, Dr. Brood and all, what was that? But, I was eating with these people, I had to be with these people, I had to collaborate with these people. Then I got it because I spent time with them. So it was a way of developing critical tolerance.